Welcome to the Fun Going Fast channel, and in this video, let's take a look at the Yamaha YFZ 450 and 450R model history. The Yamaha YFZ 450 was introduced in 2003 as a 2004 model. It arrived on the scene with 439 cc's pumping out 39 horsepower, weighing in at 350 pounds dry for a pretty impressive power to weight ratio and a top speed of 75 miles an hour. It was an instant hit, and it began the run that's still going to this day. 2005 through 2006 remained unchanged, although 2006 was the first year of the SE model that's still made to this day. In the 2007 model year, the YFZ 450 received over 80 changes, including addressing issues riders had with the seat being too firm and the famous complaint of the throttle being too stiff. You're going to hear about that again in this video. Pro taper handlebars were added to reduce steering vibration. The suspension was revised, the brakes were upgraded, and the engine received an overhaul. Displacement was bumped up to 449 cc's, and most importantly, an internal jet was added at the bottom of the piston to fix the oil starvation issues that are famous for the 04, 05, and 06. Also in 2007, they brought out the first Spill Balance edition. 2009 saw the introduction of the first YFZ 450R. This was the completely redesigned machine that is the basis of the current model we all know and love. These can be easily identified by the T-shaped seat, which gets much wider as it goes back towards the back of the machine compared to the carb models, which have the long, narrow seat. The R featured a titanium 5-valve dual overhead cam design engine, fuel injection, aluminum frame, taller 20-inch tires, over 2 inches wider, and long travel suspension, all designed to be race ready from the showroom floor. In 2012, Yamaha actually reintroduced the 450 carb model just as the YFZ 450 without the R. The economy had tanked after the housing market crisis, so the 450 was being brought back to compete with the cheaper 400cc machines of Honda and Suzuki as a more trail-oriented machine compared to the race-ready R. This quote-unquote new 450, while still carb-rated, featured a revised cam profile for improved bottom end and mid-range performance, and they changed out the carburetor to once again work on that famous still stubborn thumb throttle. The shocks were actually downgraded on this version of the 450 to non-piggyback shocks on the front, with the assumption that if people needed more suspension, they tended to do aftermarket upgrades anyway. However, it must not have sold too well because sitting beside the 450R because it was dropped after the 13 model year. Speaking of 2014, the 450R came back strong with more redesigns, including a softer, easy pull throttle lever. We've heard that before. A revised engine with tweaked cam profiles and exhaust, longer crank connecting rods, and bigger end bearings for better durability on the bottom end, an increased compression ratio. A new exhaust was added to improve mid to top end power, with a new ECU, throttle valve, and fuel map updating the electronics and fuel system. The 2014 was also the first time the YFZ featured the slipper clutch, and that is an amazing clutch, and it's my favorite one I've ever used on any machine, along with lighter shocks. Yamaha also tweaked the ergonomics to make the YFZ more comfortable for taller riders, and it also added the slick, quick release fasteners that I'm also a big fan of. And that is it. Thankfully, Yamaha has continued to make the YFZ and the Raptor 700 and 700R into 2024, being the only and last manufacturer making sport quads. So after 2014, any changes were cosmetic and related to the different SC models, color variations, etc. No other changes or revisions occurred mechanically to the suspension or anything like that. But that's okay. The YFZ 450 is an amazing machine in any of its generations or model years, so check one out if you have the chance or you can. Thanks for watching.